Hi everyone, I'm Lisa,
And I'm Jenny.
and we're the Shady
The
Tree
Shady Tea
Stitches,
Stitches.
coming to you with our planning video for the month of January 2024. Happy New Year, everyone. It is the 1st of January, and we are going to talk you through some of the challenge options you can do on Facebook. We're going to probably run these into our regular catch-up video going forward, but with Jenny's Whip Parade, there's so much to do on the 1st of January, we thought we'd still film it separately.
Yes.
All right. Things are a bit different this year for us in our challenge world. I'm going to start with the Whip Warriors, of course, since that's the group I admin. And as always, the first event that kicks off in Whip Warriors every month is Scattergories. Scattergories is allowed to be played for the whole month. You can do any start or finish. You just need a start and a finish photo. You can count time. You can count stitches. And basically there's 12 categories and you can do one or you can try and do all your 12. All the rewards for Whip Warriors this year are really cool, I think. And they are virtual threads that go towards participation bobbin and notions for your exclusive Stitch Long Notion box. All right, Jen. The first category, the letter is W.
Okay.
So what animal or plant do you have for W?
Hmm.
I mean, I can think of lots of animals, a whale, a wolf.
Yes. Yes. Hmm. And lots of plants, watermelon, and
Yes, but do you have any on any of your whips? You could
mm,
probably, you could possibly really push the barrow, don't know it to be accepted, your watermelon fabric. Is that what you were thinking?
oh yes, or wild animal to be
Wild animal?
my lion from the Peaceable Kingdom.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
of course, I could go searching in Stitch in Time, but I don't think they. It's more inside scenes, so unlikely to have whales or wolves or walruses or
Yes. And I mean, obviously, I have got lots of W's on my animal kingdom, but it's not my full coverage for this month. So in 2024, my full coverages are basically coming out for the months that they're called on WhipGo.
yeah.
So the only W animal I could think of to do was the word wren, which is a little bird.
Ooh.
And I have two options to stitch my wrens, and I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. Um, but can either stitch wrens on my 12 days of Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
because I reckon some of those birds could be wrens, or my hawk run hollow.
Oh,
Now, my hawk run hollow is a piece that will be getting worked on every month. I'm going to do a block a month, and it is one of my pieces for the Daily 30 Great Book Club read along. So I don't know how I'm going to tie it in, but I could double dip being Whip Warriors. The second prompt is near or in water, and it's giving you hints of lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, swimming pools.
with W. But is that just because water?
Well, no, well, I think you could probably just do water for this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have to. My son is coming in my line.
Oh, yes.
Nice view of my backside, then, people. So I think you possibly could do water in it by itself, but
Uh-huh.
something near water.
Well, I've got Jeremy Fisher has his foot in the water.
Yeah. So the obvious one I'd be thinking of there would be waves
Yes.
or whale.
Yes.
Um, so I've actually got some, well, ripples, but let's call them waves
Yes.
in my castle homecoming.
Yes. Likewise.
Yes. So
Ripple.
possibly if we went waves in the water, we potentially could get double because it's the alliteration. So worth a try. Got nothing to lose. Color. What color would you be stitching on?
Well, see, then I could go watermelon and do my, because it doesn't have to be
Yes.
the color that you're stitching in, it can be color you're stitching on.
Yeah, and my colour obviously would be white on
Ah,
Savannah.
that works
But
too.
on saying that, I could also do white if I'm up to the church. I mean, it just has to be on the pattern, so I'll be able to fit it in somehow. I haven't decided, which way I'm going to go yet. Related to humans and culture: professions, jobs, tasks, emotions, activities, body parts, garments, literacy, invention, civilization, language, academics. What do you have? Starting with W, that relates to humans.
Washerwoman.
Washerwoman, there you go. And you know what's really funny is I'm actually using woman.
Uh-huh.
There we go. I pay that. That's good.
Yep.
Man-made, something that is man-made. You've got an easy one here. You want me to tell you yours? Because you've got the same word. I've got a wall.
Yes.
Yep,
Wall.
a wall.
Stone wall.
Yep, stone wall. That's an easy one. Travel, movement, vehicles, places.
Walking.
Walking is a
Anything
really
with
good one.
wheels.
Wheels, walking, or I could do wagon or wind.
Wind, yes. Yes.
So yes, walking, wheels, wind. Do you have anything with any of those?
Well, I know there's hot air balloons in
Yes, there is Stitch in Time.
Stitch in Time.
Well, there you go. That gives
in the wind.
Yep. There you go. That gives you an answer.
That's probably it.
Yep. Okay. Seasons or celebrations?
Winter. I have several Christmas ones that have snow.
Yes, and I've got Celtic winter.
Yes.
So I would be using winter for that. Yes. Now remember, you can only use the same word once within your choices. So you've got to pick which one is the best option when you've got choices. This is affecting me at the moment. Favorite things, activity, things, and pets. I'm actually going to use walking for this because it's an activity, and my people are actually walking in the fairy tale village.
Yep.
Along with all the walls.
Yep. Well, maybe I could do my castle sampler and say writing because it's got the alphabet.
You could. I think that would work.
And I don't do it so much anymore, but when I was much younger, at one point I had 20-something pen pals, so I did a lot of writing.
That's understandable. The next one is magical, mystical, or mythical. And again, I have a lot of choices to do there, but I'm going to stick with the easiest one and go, where is he? The wizard.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I don't want to work on too many whips, if possible.
Yes. Well, one thing that we were, again, talking about last night, potential new start, which could tie into this. Magi by Jan Lynn, or Wise Men.
Wise Men, yes, that would fit in.
That's somewhat magical, mystical. I mean, like the whole,
Yes.
Following the star.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. A designer with W.
Okay. My koala biscornu is by Wild Violet Cross Stitch.
There you go. Jenny's got one. Woohoo.
Or what about my tribal Eiffel Tower is White Willow Stitching. There you go. 2 options.
Jenny's given you 2 options. I haven't come to any at the moment, but that's okay.
There are several.
There are several. Pattern title. And this is where I can't use my winter.
Yes.
But what I was thinking is maybe that's when I use Catch the Wind.
Yeah. Okay, at the moment, I don't have any that start with a W.
And that's okay, because you don't have to do them all.
No.
All right, so that's what we've got coming up first in categories. Then on the 12th of January is the Beat the Modmin and Focus event. And on the 17th of January, we have got the Whip Frenzy. and the 25th of January is the Strident Sow. Do you have a sow you could work on in the sow time, Jenny?
Well, there's my Cross Stitch Nation, which was started as a sow.
Yep.
And also on my plans, was in my plans for last year, didn't quite get there. Starting my Sarah Germani one.
Lovely.
Now that I've worked out fabric, I've washed the fabric, and I have all of the threads. So there is nothing stopping me from starting that one.
Lovely. Well, that's good. So that's what's happening in Whip Warriors. The road trip has kicked off on the Pacific cruise. We are crossing between Seattle and Hawaii as we speak. People are making things a lot harder than they need to. They just need to take a chill pill and read, because it's basically a cruise your own adventure. You get to choose each day what you do as much or a little as you want. There are days where there's a lot of travel because it's quite a lot of kilometres or miles or nautical miles between Seattle and Hawaii. So yes, there is 1,500 stitches if you're a balcony person, but you don't have to do that all in one day. You just spread it out and you know it's coming and you work your way through it. Maybe don't go spend as much time shopping or at the casino the day before and do some of your travel stitches. It's not each line is a day, it's just work your way through the itinerary. So yeah, we're having fun on that.
So far I've stitched my passport.
Hey,
I've started on my ticket, so that's yeah.
There you go, Jenny.
I'm not on the boat yet, but I'm working on it.
Hey, if you miss the boat, you can join us in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And if you miss it in Hawaii, you can just get off at Sydney and meet us there for the road trip to start. Okay. So that is what's happening in Whipped Warriors. What's happening in Down Under Divas?
Okay, so Down Under Divas. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so this year they're doing Quest Through Space for their monthlies, looking at a different planet each month or celestial thing. So for January, it's the sun. And okay. Oh, they're doing 4 levels this time. Last year there was only 3. This year there's 4. Ankle biter, fair dinkum, U-butte, and ace. So it's a different number of stitches for each one. Okay, so for the sun. Without the sun, there would be no life on Earth. Stitch 2,000 stitches on a piece that depicts life. Oh, gee, that's going to be so hard for us. Which one of our people, houses, Yes, and it doesn't have to be human life. It could be animals. There's so many options for that one. Okay, the next one. The sun is over 4.5 billion years old. Stitch 2,000 stitches on a piece that is at least 4.5 years old. If you don't have a piece that old, stitch on your oldest piece. Again, for me, I've got several that fit into that category. You probably not so much.
Well, surprisingly, you didn't wait to set my answer for the first one, and I was being rudely interrupted by a child, but that's okay. So you have to remind me what the first prompt was because I was being talked to.
2,000 stitches on a piece that depicts life. Yeah,
so I've got plenty of choices for that. So that's easy. Okay, I actually have an oldest whip. My oldest,
your Celtic,
my Celtic winter. Yeah, where is she? I don't know where her picture is to show you. Some of my little pictures have disappeared from me. I think I got them out to get things organised, and now they're hiding. But yes, so Celtic winter.
Yes.
She's I think she's like a 1990s, or at the very worst a 2000s. I have to look at when I did the other ones because she'll be like the next year from the ones that are done. And so I have actually started working on her today. She has progressed, take her pattern off. She has progressed into a Q-snap because she was on a scroll frame. So this is where she's starting, and she is she's going to get 2,000 stitches done on her. So isn't that lucky for her? What's next?
So for my oldest, it's probably either the Castle Sampler or the Poppies. They're both pre-2019. I have a couple of, no, Reflections of Paris is my next oldest after that. So one of those. Okay, next is the sun is a yellow dwarf star. Stitch 1,000 stitches in yellow. Ooh.
Look, 1,000 in yellow. I would say my Catch the Wind. I'm on the girl in the middle of the green dress, so I could actually
yes.
do the yellow.
Yes, she's got a yellow apron and stuff.
Yes.
I don't think I've got anything that's got a whole lot of yellow.
Yeah. But remember, again, you don't have to do them all. You can just do whatever ones you're.
Yeah. No, that doesn't have yellow. That's not yellow. No.
I haven't downloaded the whole picture, but my Maple Lane that I want to work on also has a fair bit of orange and yellow on it. So,
Yeah.
or again, if I was my Hawk Run Hollow's got a whole bunch of yellow on it too.
Well, I guess it depends how yellow we're talking. Because I've got a fair bit of gold in my castle. Oh, and there's pale yellow on the in between the green bits.
Well, maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to try and find something on those pieces you want to focus on. So I'd be going the pale yellow.
Yeah. Okay. Next, the sun is the only star in our solar system. Stitch 1,000 pieces with 1,000 stitches on a piece with a star.
With a star. All right. Well, that means it's going to be Hawk Run Hollow because there's stars down the bottom.
Yep. And for me, yeah, Deck the Halls has a couple of stars interspersed in between the words and stuff. So that's probably the easiest one for me. And that's easy stitching because it's big blocks of colour. So
mine won't be easy because I've got an easier option. I'm just thinking, hold on, I've got to check. I forgot to tell you what my whip goes were.
Oh, yes.
My whip goes, yes, okay, this is an easier option. My whip goes are Angel, Lion and Lamb and Train of Dreams, and they both have stars in them. So I've got to do 1,000 stitches on each of them anyway, because my other one's 40 count.
Yeah, but also, does Hawk Run Hollow have a sun? Because the next thing is the sun is the main star. In our solar system, stitch 1,000 stitches on a piece with a visible sun.
Well, okay. Train of Dreams, we'll get that one because the sun's asleep. Up here. There's my sun.
Oh, yes.
All right. And then for my stars then, it'll be my Angel, Lion and Lamb for the stars. Because, my Hawk Run is the 40 count. It doesn't have a visible sun, though, to answer your question. Yeah.
Okay. For me, I don't know. I don't think I've got one with a visible sun. Oh, hang on. Oh, does Primavera have one? You have a quick look. Nope. Yeah, that might have to be a skip that one. Don't know. Okay.
That's right.
The next one. The sun's surface temperature is very hot. 5,973 degrees Celsius up to 15 million degrees Celsius. Wow. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with something that gets very hot.
Okay. I would say the pebble roadway in this piece gets very hot when the sun heats it when you're in Australia anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Alternatively, I could do the Hawk Run because the fireplace where you burn the blacksmith.
Yes. Okay. Oh, no, it's the wrong one. was going to say, I could potentially do one with a candle, but I'm not stitching that one. I'm stitching
No.
that one. But yes, I can have a look and see if I've got candles in anything else. Or, yeah, because I don't think I've got fireplaces. There might be chimneys on some of the houses. I could say they've got a fireplace. You just can't see it. I think that would have to be the closest I get.
Okay.
Okay.
What's
Next, the sun is the largest object in our solar system. Stitch 500 stitches on something that is very large in real life.
all right? Well, that's very large in real life. Probably going to be, yeah, the Hawk Run or the buildings in the fairy tale village. They're both got big buildings which are very large.
A lion? A
A
lion
lion's
could be very
large.
large.
Yes, he could, especially compared to the lamb.
Yes. Okay. The sun does not have a solid surface. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece that has something that is not solid.
Right, water is not solid, so that's where I would slot in probably the fairy tale village again.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably do that or one of my one that's got plants in because yeah,
Well, gas is not solid either. So if there's some way of seeing the wind or the sky or some sort of a gas, you could do that.
Yeah.
It's not solid.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay. All right, number 9. The sun has spots. Sunspots are darker and cooler than their surroundings. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with spots. Spots on the material?
Yeah, I've got spots on Celtic window.
Yes. Yes, I'd probably do that one with spots on the material.
Yeah, you could give it a try. We're not aficionados on whether this counts. All right, what's next?
I figure I have enough Christmas whips that I really need to work on one each month. Otherwise, I can't leave them all till getting close to Christmas. Okay. Many ancient civilizations thought the sun was a god. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a god or that you can relate to a god.
Well, I would relate angel, lion, and lamb to God.
Yeah. If I'm going to start
my yes,
Magi, which also has a star.
Yep.
If
New
I wanted
year,
to
new
do
start.
that. Yep. Or I could also do Peaceable Kingdom because that's,
yes,
I think it's a Bible quote, and the lion will lie down with the lamb and the little child will lead them.
Yes, I think you're right.
That also relates to a god. Okay, last one. All the planets in our solar system orbit the sun. This means the sun is the very center of our solar system. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a large central motif.
I feel like the lady is a large central motif.
Mm-hmm. I reckon. Do you think the house is big enough?
Yes, yes,
If
I
not,
think so.
I could also do Stitch in Time because that's got the Stitch in Time thing in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the pop culture that drives me for the monthlies. Not pop culture, sorry. Down Under Divas that drives me for the monthlies. I haven't actually looked at pop culture. I'm trying to condense, which is going to surprise you when I make my next sentence, but I'm trying to condense what I'm doing. So the yearly for the daily 30 is stitching the book list, and I'm going to do that. I don't think it's going to take me too long, but I'll do it and get it done. I'm not enjoying the acrostics. I'm not an acrostic kind of person, really. So I'm not really going to be bothering too much with doing acrostics. Sorry. All the time that I don't lose one. I am not going to do the monthlies, I don't think, in the daily 30 this year, and I'll see how I feel for the weeklies. But what I did hear about was a different group that has been around for a while, but I haven't joined it, and that's Fandom Stitching. And Fandom Stitching is doing Disney this year. And they have the full gamut of events too. They have yearlies, they have monthlies. The monthlies are similar stitch counts to Down on the Divas, so they're quite substantial, which I like, but I don't know if I want to push myself too much. So I thought I'd just really quickly go through, they're going through Disney movies. So in the first week, and I think you've got, oh no, it's just a week. 1 week to do it. You can do 100 stitches, 200 stitches, or 300 stitches on each one. And it's to do with Snow White, Pinocchio, and Fantasia. So there's a whole bunch of other options if you're interested. Look them up, Fandom Stitching Central. Number 1, hi ho, it's off to work, the dwarves go. Stitch on something you use for your job. Stitch on something you use for your job. Okay, for me, I would stitch on this because I'm stitching on the dress and I use fabric for my job because I dye it for cross stitch.
Well, I don't have any pieces that have anything to do with, oh, no, I think I could do my castle sampler because it's got numbers.
Exactly. Or letters. So,
but that's about it because
yeah, but that works.
I'm an accountant, so I use computers and
so numbers and letters, Jen, you'd use them. So I reckon that would count. Again, I have no authority over this. Yeah. Evil Queen is jealous of Snow White's beauty. Stitch on something you think is the most beautiful and explain your reasoning. So I could definitely do my Celtic Winter again because she's very beautiful.
Decisions. I could do Castle Sampler because that is beautiful. I could do my Verbena cross stitch because it's in silks and stitching with silks is really nice.
Beautiful.
I could do Little House Neighborhood because our friendship is beautiful.
It sure is. It's timeless and beautiful. When you wish upon a star, stitch on something you would wish for. Now, I will point out this is saying stitch on something. So I have to read the fine print, but I feel like you have to stitch on the item. So stitching on something you would wish for. So I would be wishing for a pretty dress. Well, I've got to do 2,000 stitches on it for another thing. So, double dipping.
I would maybe Little House Neighborhood and stitch on one of the houses.
Yep, you wish for a big house. All right, Geppetto is swallowed by a whale and eventually Pinocchio is as well. And Pinocchio sets a fire. So stitch on something that makes you sneeze. I would stitch on the fur of the lion.
Yes, or something with flowers because flowers can make people sneeze.
Or I could actually do my coffee because the smell of coffee makes me sneeze. All right, the narrator describes 3 kinds of music in, I imagine that's in Fantasia. Stitch on something you want to stitch for no reason and just explain why you want to stitch on it. So that's easy. Oh, yeah. And the last one is stitch on something that has water, and we've covered that already. So, the reason why I go through these different ones is to give you an idea of how we double dip. You don't want to be answering every prompt, and that's how I ended up with over 100 whips originally. Now I fine tune and I make them fit me. So that's just another option that you guys have if you're interested.
Yep. And now, just quickly backtracking slightly, Down Under Divas also do a fortnightly one, which has much smaller stitch prompts. So Lisa normally goes for the monthlies for Down Under Divas. I tend to go for the the fortnightlies, because those stitch counts, I think it's about 200. It's
a lot smaller. I think you can still pick it
100, 200, or 300 per prompt.
Yeah, same sort of thing.
And the current one is fireworks. So
there you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Semi-Sane has their snowfall fight happening. The yearlies, they've got Stitch to Thousands. They've got 24 and 24. They've got the yearly goals again. They've got this or that, white or circles. You've got the focus challenge. And they are doing this, people who like the certificates, they're doing art history, which could be quite interesting to do. So that's what's happening in Semi-Sane for the month of January.
Mhm.
So I think that'll do us for giving you some helpful hints. As I said, it's probably going to be part of our plans for.
So just on that, can I continue with my plan? So I've got my 19 whips, 20 if you count Primavera.
Yeah.
I haven't quite worked out how it will fit in with everything yet, but I want to try and finish the little Victorian strawberry because it's pretty close. There is still a fair bit to go, but it's pretty close. And so what I'm thinking with that is that when I finish that one, because I've got 2 biscornus on the go already, I'm going to start this one. So I have three of these bee cottage charts. This one's the scissor fob. I also have a biscornu, and then I have another little thing. So I thought if I'll start the scissor fob to replace the scissor fob. Potentially starting my Magi. And I want to do a Mill Hill one. At the moment, I'm thinking maybe one of the Jim Shaw Santas.
Oh, cute. Hence why you said you've got a lot of Christmas
kits and stuff. I'm currently doing Colburn, but when I finish that, I want to try and have a retreat piece on the go because we've been to a few now and we've got stuff. So I've got it already. So there's the original Mittagong retreat one. So I've got fabric and thread. I just need to make a start. Then there's Glenella, that was Lisa's one from the most recent retreat. And then I've also got in another new project bag that I bought myself. The Joanna's one, the letter.
Yes.
The letter one. So that's in a separate bag because it's also got the fabrics that I chose to go on the inside.
Lovely.
So yes, so that's yes. Assuming that I get and you know the Colburn one is pretty small, so I should be able to finish it this year and then start one of those. So I'll have a retreat one on the go. I'll probably put in a Paddock Lane Christmas ornament to be one of my other slots. And then other than that, I do have the handful of pieces that I didn't bring into 23. Again, most of these, maybe I should do one of these first and then replace with one of those. So this bookmark is so close. Like there is an awful lot of back stitching to do on it, but all the cross stitching is done. I just have
get it done, Jenny.
And the French knots and oh look, I've even done all the French knots in the first lot of lilies, but then there's the lilies at this end that I have to do all the French knots. There's a lot of back stitching, but again, it's the full kit. It comes with the little metal thing and the thread to do the tassel and stuff. So yes, potentially put that one into the mix. What else have I got in here? Oh, having said I want to do a Mill Hill. I have this Mill Hill that I'm doing. The Treasured Sampler Kit. So that's where that one's up to. I'm not very far with it. But
maybe you should finish that first then before you start another one. Finish it first before you start another one.
Yeah. Although that's a bit bigger than the other ones. Also Christmas, I have the series of cats in Christmas stockings. So I think I've done 3 out of the 12. So potentially try and do another cat. Because I have lots of friends who have cats who I could make them for.
Sure, you do.
Okay, this one probably will still stay in for next year pile. This was the printed one that you just sew over the top of, and you'd think it would be easier than doing a regular one, but it's not. It's not, because what printed on here is not exactly the same as what shows on the pattern, so you have to kind of adapt it, but then you kind of got to, yeah, it's this one I decided to FFO, sorry, not FFO, UFO, because I made it too hard for myself with trying to do fussy. I mean, it looks beautiful, but it's a bit of a headache to try and keep doing the fussy cutting to get that one with the with that thread. So I don't know. I don't know. That's probably not going to make it into the list. And oh, so I did this one a couple of years ago, and I've already got another piece of material ready to do. So one for me, but I was going to do one to give away. So whether I do that for a smalls exchange or something, maybe. Yeah. So they're the whips that didn't make it into the list last year that might make it into the list this year.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, that's Jenny's plans. My plans you already know about from the Flossmas. Thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to catching you later. Happy stitching, everyone.